Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about two movies, E.T. the Extraterrestrial and then 2001 A Space Odyssey. So in the first movie, E.T., so this movie is about an alien and like a little boy, like those are the main characters. And so what happened in the movie is that so E.T. is left behind by his spaceship, and then Elliot, who's the little boy, he finds him in a field and he goes to tell his parents, but they don't believe him. And then he goes back and he finds him again, and then he lures him back into his house with candy. And so then once they're like in his house, something that they do is that they will like mimic each other's motions, like the scene with like the fingers and like stuff like that. And then what this causes is like a kind of like a supernatural connection, I guess, to where they feel what the other feels. And so this can be seen in the scene of the movie where E.T. is home and he's drinking, and then Elliot is at school and he starts feeling the effects of E.T.'s actions. And then when E.T. is watching the movie and then Elliot is at school, he ends up kissing the girl because they have like this connection where what one is doing or seeing affects the other. And so what is a little bit different, oh wait, let me finish though. Okay, so in the movie, he is kind of related to the concept of the god of vegetation, because he has like he also has a really strong connection with plants and nature. And he was a botanist, like in his planet, like at home what he did was botany. And so this can be seen when he dies, all the plants like also like shrivel. And then at the end of the movie, when he's like going home, he brings like one of the flowers back to life, and he gives it to Elliot, I think. I kind of forgot. But yeah, so that kind of relates E.T. to the god of vegetation. And yeah, so some of the things that this movie touches upon regarding like myth and ritual and stuff would be the actual concept of aliens. So I feel like in this movie it's different compared to the other ones, because those had like myths or rituals within the film. So like there was a myth that Indiana Jones had to like find the stone, and then the stone was gonna bring like happiness for everybody. But in E.T. there's not really a myth within the actual movie, but it talks more about like myths that we have in our society. So for example, aliens, there's a lot of controversy about whether aliens or extraterrestrial life is like real or not. And then the myth part of it comes in when you look at like different things like the pyramids or like a sighting or stuff like that. So there's just a lot of uncertainty about whether aliens are real or not. And then some other concepts that E.T. touches upon regarding like science fiction and stuff would be like time travel and like space travel, I mean, because like obviously at the end E.T. goes back to his planet in his spaceship, and so it just like brings about the question of like what other things could there be out there. So then the second movie that we had to watch this week was 2001 A Space Odyssey. So in the beginning of this movie, so the first like few minutes are pretty quiet, and so like there's no dialogue, there's no talking. And so we see like a monolith, and it comes down to like where there's like monkeys and there's like animals and stuff. And so this monolith kind of like grants higher intelligence to the monkeys, and so as a species they like evolve, and then there's like violence, they start like killing the other animals and stuff like that. So that's the beginning of the movie. And then so then throughout the movie there's like a bunch of astronauts, and they're going to like they're on a mission, but then they're using like this artificial intelligence called HAL 9000. And they realized that there was like something wrong. There had been like a miscalculation, and so they realized that they need to turn HAL 9000 off. But once HAL, because he's like always watching, like the technologies that we have today, like Alexa or Hey Google or Siri, stuff like that. You know how there's like myths, I guess, that kind of like artificial intelligence is always listening and like always watching like its surroundings. So Hal realizes that they're gonna try to turn him off, and so he ends up killing all the astronauts but one. And so then this astronaut finally makes it to the destination, and he finds another monolith, which he like travels to, into a bedroom with like versions of himself, but they're like older. And then there's another monolith that comes, and then he ends up like as a big fetus that's like in outer space, like overlooking the earth. So, and that like the last few minutes of this movie are also like quiet, like there's no dialogue. So what this movie touches upon is not like aliens itself. I mean, not like aliens themselves, but more like artificial intelligence. Um and it can be seen that there's like a recurring like theme throughout the movie, that artificial intelligence is kind of closely related to violence, because at the beginning the monkeys are just living like they're not like their normal lives and like just doing natural monkey things. But then once the monolith comes and they gain greater intelligence, they become violent and they start attacking the other animals. And then when they're on the mission and Hal realizes that they're gonna try to turn him off, he also like he's artificial intelligence, so he's obviously like very advanced. He also becomes violent and starts like attacking the other people that are on the ship. And yeah, and then right, so some other concepts that this movie touches upon that are once again myths like in our society would be like time travel, like space travel, teleportation, because so first of all, yeah, they're traveling like through space. So that's like something that we like as like, you know, science and like technology, we've done some of that, but we haven't traveled to like planets, and we haven't like artificial intelligence is something that is like kind of new, I would guess. Like we don't have like Cal 9000, you know, like, and so it's like also kind of controversial because, you know, on Twitter, like people will post videos of like the robots that look like humans that have been built, and it's kind of like uncertain about whether one day, like, is it true that artificial intelligence really will like rise up and like start attacking humans the same way that Hal did, and so stuff like that. And then another concept, which is like time travel and teleportation, because when he reaches the monolith and he uses it as a portal, that's something that hasn't really been like researched like thoroughly like in our society. Like it, like that's kind of like a like sci-fi type of concept. But yeah, that's like pretty much what that movie's about, and those are the kind of concepts that kind of are a myth in our reality. So yeah, thank you for watching.